Hey, this is Lorelia, and we are on, I believe, day 7. And so we left off, or should I say, I left off explaining ways that you can monetize your intellectual capital because I explained to you that your intellectual capital is basically made up of your knowledge, skills, and abilities. What is it that you know how to do that you can share your gifts to the world and get paid for it? And so I gave you a few ways of how you can do it, which is create an information product, write an ebook, sell your original photography, create music, and share your expertise on a blog. And so remember, we are doing this all online because the goal is that we want to leverage our time so we can leverage our income. We don't want to be in a place where we are exchanging time for money. So as you begin to explore this new way of understanding how money can be developed, then you will see the reward of why you have to do this. Okay, so what does this all mean? I want to go into a further discussion on the monetization examples that I gave you. Now, if you're wondering, you know what, Maria, sounds like a great idea. I'm ready to get started. So, I actually gave you a few samples of ways that you can possibly get started now to begin to monetize your expertise. So, on the first area, I talked about original photography. So, if you're someone who is a photographer or you have, you are beginning, your journey on taking pictures and you want to, generate a revenue from it, there are many sites that you can sell your photographs or your images on. Now, this is the caveat I want to explain to you. A lot of times there is some type of revenue sharing mechanism that is part of it. So basically, what that means is that you are going to have to, for you to share your images or your photographs on these platforms, you're going to have to share the revenue. And so I'm not going to go into what's the revenue sharing piece of it on the examples I give you. That is something that you would have to research your own. Along with it being a revenue sharing model, it can also be a passive income model. Basically, what happens is that possibly when someone buys your image, you can begin to generate some type of royalty. Now, how do you get started? The first way, if you want to sell your photographs, is you can go to iStock. All these websites that I'm going to mention to you in the photography area, all.com. So you want to go to iStock.com, and there you will learn more about how their model works. And I also give you Zazzle. Now, let me just explain to you something about Zazzle. Now, Zazzle doesn't sell your photographs, but they have a very interesting model because if someone decides to want to create some products and they want to use an image that you have created, that is where the revenue sharing piece comes in with Zazzle. You're basically sharing any images that people may want to use to put on their products. Then, of course, you have Shutterstock.com and Shutterpoint.com. These are two different sites. Do not get them mixed up because they use the word shutter. Once again, if you're someone who wants to sell images or you're a photographer, you may want to check those out. Now, I talked about music. So if you're someone who has created some type of music, remember the phrase where I said, I have not coined this phrase, but I've heard other people say it, the gatekeeper is gone. So what that means is now, there was a hip hop artist back in the 80s that I used to listen to. Some of you who listen to hip hop may know EPMD. And they talked about, there was a song about, trying to get a record deal or, please listen, yeah, please listen to my demo. Those days are over. You really don't need anybody to listen to your demo now because you can now create your own demo and create your own following. There's a great article online called A Thousand Truths fans. It was written back in 2008 by a gentleman named Kevin Kelly, but it still holds true today that really an artist does not need a major mega platform. He or she doesn't have to be a Jay-Z or Beyonce, but that if an artist really loves what he or she does for a living, they could create their own platform. And so, if I was you, if this music is really something that you want to learn to get paid for, I suggest you Google that article. And really, that Kevin Kelly article where he talks about 1,000 true fans really relate to anything in life, not just music, but he uses the music industry as an example. But to me, I feel like that can be used in any area of business. So, some ways that you can sell your music: you can go to CD Baby. Um, you can go to Google Play. Yes, Google does have a platform where you can sell your music, and of course, there is the infamous iTunes. Now, once again, I'm not going to go into the logistics of how you would get started, what is the revenue sharing piece of it, but of course, you're using their platform. So, in exchange for using their platform, they want to be able to share the revenue with you. Now let's go to ebooks. For those who are saying, okay, Lorraine, I'm not artsy, I'm not creative. You're pretty much like me. I'm totally a left brain person. I always get it mixed up. The analytical side. And so I don't really have any, creative, artsy expertise either. I am more so of a analytical person. So a lot of the information that I have created have came into the form of information products and ebooks. And so if you're someone who really has an how to, how to do anything, I mean, it can even be something with a analytical description, but a very creative piece of it, because it can be a how to get started selling your music online. And that is where information products come, because as I mentioned to you in the previous videos, is that there is always somebody on the internet who is looking for the information that you may write about. So once again, how to how to um with myself, how to get rid of a debt collector. I apologize about that. That was my screensaver. How to get rid of a debt collector. When I created my first information product, that is what it was on. It was about getting rid of debt collectors. How to increase your credit score. And of course, many of my information products have been in the form um, of helping individuals in a personal finance space, which is what I'm doing now, but I'm giving it a new spin because I really feel like a lot of the information that is online now is really outdated. It's an outdated model. So going back to monetizing your intellectual capital in the information form, it could be digital. That is what you want to do. But if you do want to do the tangible piece, whereas a person would have to get the physical product in their hand, it could be a physical disc, it could be a physical, workbook, a physical manual. You definitely want to go with fulfillment. You want to find websites or companies that will do the fulfillment for you, because you totally want to be out of the picture. You don't want to deal with having individuals. You don't want to deal with you being the one who has to fulfill the order in order for someone to receive what it is that you're selling. So, of course, information products can come into a form of a manual, it can be a book, and it can be a course. And once again, all these things can be considered an information product. Then, another form of monetization and monetizing your intellectual capital is a blog. And once again, I know you're wondering, okay, Loretta, how do you monetize a blog? One, you have to start a blog. So you can either go to WordPress. When I first started blogging, I started on a GoDaddy platform. And what I found was that it was very restrictive in what I wanted to do, and I went on to WordPress. So if you notice, I have WordPress under the blog section. And so then there's the free blogs online. Google has a blog platform, which is Blogger. Now, the only thing that I want to say is that, it's maybe a great platform for someone who wants to blog for a hobby. But if you're someone who really wants to monetize your intellectual capital, I never recommend a platform where you do not own really the content or the platform. Although Google does supply it to you, they really, it's almost like you're renting the space. It's their platform and you're renting it. So if you're truly looking to monetize what it is that you do, you definitely do not want to consider Blogger. But once again, it's okay if you're just starting out. But when you really want to start looking into how you can create an income from it, you want to go to something where you own, which is WordPress. And let me be very clear, it's actually WordPress.org, because there is a WordPress.com. So I wanted to make that differentiation. And then I also use a viral blogging platform. And I know you're wondering, okay, Laura, what is a viral blogging platform? Well, along with my WordPress blog, I also use a viral blogging platform because this helps me with marketing. Because remember, with all the information that I share with you, with the photography, with the music, with the information product, you have to know how to market. And so the viral blogging platform helps me with that. That helps me with how to get my message online. And I don't want to go more technical into the matter, but it really goes into the SEO component of it, which is search engine optimization, how to use social media to get your message out there. There are so many areas that is needed for the viral platform, and I always suggest to use them together. It's almost like it's helping your other blog to be pushed out there. And I really suggest the viral blogging platform if you are serious about generating some type of income online. So there you go. I am going to end this message today with this. I hope you are finding value in this series. And once again, if you want to learn more about what I'm doing, how I am helping individuals connect money with mindset, increasing their financial IQ, and thriving instead of surviving in 2014, I welcome you to connect with me at www.getfinanciallysmart.com. You can learn more about this series that I am doing for 2014 and going forward. So once again, it's www.getfinanciallysmart.com. I look forward to talking to you on day 8, 9, and 10. Until the next time.